case against a rapper accused in a outside of the Varsity will move forward.
They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
3 people, including a 73-year-old man, are recovering after they were shot just before noon today. Police say all 3 were standing near 63rd and King Drive.
Oh, wait, we've got some breaking news to tell you about right now. There is a police investigation happening right now at a home on Maryland Avenue near 67th Avenue.
Ever since King Von passed away in 2020, the police have solved 5 cold cases in Chicago using new technology, and they found King Von guilty of them, such as the famous 2014 Inglewood case, where King Von and a man named Big Mike went to a birthday party on Chicago's South Side. When shots rang out, a 19-year-old named Malcolm Stuckey sadly passed away, and 2 others were wounded. Police then later charged Davon King Von Bennett with the first degree, as well as 2 counts of attempted in connection with that incident. This was the biggest case of his early life. He was only 19. Being so young, Big Mike would eventually snitch against King Von as he didn't want to throw his own life away. The case took many years to reach a verdict, where police reports noted a witness saw King Von and Big Mike creeping up over a hill at a birthday party, hopping a fence, then using their firearms in a crowd of people, to which Malcolm Stuckey was hit in the crossfire. Big Mike would then confirm the witness's statement, as when the trial finally came, something unusual happened. The 2 defendants were being tried at the same time, but in front of separate juries. After all of the witnesses and cross-exams, the outcome came split. Big Mike was found guilty of aggravated with a firearm tied to one of the survivors, where later he was reduced on appeal, but King Von was found not guilty on every single charge. The judge noted, quote, "Bennett was acquitted of all charges, and he walked out a free man that day." But years later, King Von would make a song about this titled Why He Told, where the entire song is dissing Big Mike for snitching and telling against him, but also revealing the truth about the entire case, making lawyers believe it would have been reopened if he was still alive. Interestingly enough, King Von would even use this case to show how hard he truly was. While being arrested in a different case 1 year later, he would tell the police that he just beat a body in 2 attempts.
I cuffed him this way because
Cause y'all let me go to my Valentine's Day, man.
you talk going to jail.
I just got a deal on me, that's what I'm saying.
What were you locked up for?
Like a body and 2 attempts.
What? I'm sorry? You want it, you gotta have it.
However, King Von's case in 2019 would have put Lil Durk in prison if he didn't pass away, and let me explain. February 2019, a man would get hit near the Varsity where jewelry, cash, and a Jeep was stolen. The cameras around that famous drive-in diner caught both Lil Durk and King Von committing this crime. By June 2019, an Atlanta judge was listening to the probable cause hearing where a detective testified that a video shows Lil Durk firing from a moving vehicle while King Von was driving the car. The judge said there was enough evidence to move forward on the charges, resulting in King Von being arrested.
Put your other hand on top of your head, please.
But out here?
What?
For what? Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh.
So just face it, we're gonna just change it.
You too, I hate it like this, partner. You ain't never give me no hard time.
Hey man, when you can't explain to your aunt, man, like it's not, we don't know what your case is. We just people to come pick you up. Right.
1 week later, bond hearings would hit. Lil Durk would get a $250,000 bond with conditions, while King Von bonded out as well, but here's the twist. In October 2022, Fulton County prosecutors dropped all charges against Lil Durk, quoted, "in the interest of justice." And under their discretion, King Von had passed away in 2020, so his file would never go to a jury, but if he was alive, the case would have went to trial in 2024. But here's where it gets real. Otia Vonnie's father revealed King Von was backdoored by none other than Lil Durk to prevent this case ever going to trial. I know how it sounds, but the new evidence lines up perfectly with what he said.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a backdoor and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right in
You
there.
heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Dirk before, who told on Von before he.
As academics would then later ask Vonnie's father why Lil Durk would want King Von gone.
Why would Dirk want Von?
All right, man. Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table when I pass you up? Don't nobody want their cheap spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a slack. He was signing the boys. He was Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Dirk like that, which was
I mean, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney?"
As Vonnie's father would then later explain, the varsity case trial was handled privately between Dirk's lawyers as well as the Atlanta court system. This likely means Lil Durk made a deal with the court behind closed doors so then it would never go to trial for his part of the evidence against him. But OTF Vonnie's father wasn't done here. He would even double down on everything he said when the news wrote, OTF Vonnie's father reveals Vonnie allegedly orchestrated Lil Pab and King Von's passing.
Oh no, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches of paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches? What?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages, like that's.
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
Cause that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, and and with me saying Von, some people like, man, what he gonna tell on some words on Von?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm free to know what the Von name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Von. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Pab. You orchestrated this. And guess who you work for?
This would then be confirmed by King Von's own sister on Instagram when she would write, Chicago rapper Lil Durk's sister-in-law calls King Von's cousin OTF Vonnie a rat and a snitch in the M for Hire Fed case, calling OTF Vonnie a snitch, confirming what Vonnie's father was saying. But there's one case that recently went to trial that had King Von's name all over it, which was the passing of FBG Duck. At around 4:10 p.m., FBG Duck and his girlfriend were parked on Oak Street, where he would step out and get in line for a luxury store. At the same time, cameras on the south side of O Block caught men sprinting down a stairwell, getting into two different vehicles, pulling out of the parking lot in a Ford Fusion and a Chrysler 300. City cameras and license plate readers would follow the car's path through at least 7 different spots as they headed towards the Gold Coast. At 4:26 p.m., both cars would stop in front of FBG Duck's girlfriend's sedan, where 2 people would hop out of the Fusion and light up the scene. 2 more would then jump out of the Chrysler and follow suit. Meanwhile, FBG Duck and another person were trying to dive behind a nearby car. His girlfriend would be affected in the wrist, the other friend was hit 3 times, and in about 15 seconds it was all over. Witnesses say that it sounded like a fire range, where FBG Duck would then sadly be pronounced gone. Just a few days later, King Von would then be interviewed by DJ Academics, where Von would react and kind of laugh.
Were you saddened by the news that he was then?
Man, that hurt. I didn't go to sleep at night. Couldn't believe it. Hold on, man. Oh, let's talk about some other.
Investigators counted roughly 38 shell casings where sadly FBG Duck passed. When the police finally arrested everyone involved, they named the title of the case the O Block 6. The arrest consisted of C. Mur, Kenny Mack, Loss, Sithang, Muwap, and THF TZ, but there was a very strange trend between these 6 arrests. All 6 of these men were gifted diamond O Block chains. Now, when you think of a diamond O Block chain, you really think of just one person, being King Von. Prosecutors noted in the FBG Duck passing that King Von spent about $128,000 on diamond O Block pendants from an Atlanta jeweler, ordering most of them before Duck passed, but also buying a few right after. But that's not all of the evidence. In January 2023, the Chicago Sun-Times reported that police records had stuffed on the last page of their entire record. There was an informant on the case, and he said that, quote, FBG Duck had a massive price on his head, and that a person affiliated with the Disciples had offered $50,000 to get Duck, but then he later raised it to $100,000. The name was redacted from the records, likely to keep the individual safe, but what wasn't redacted was a clue of who was responsible. The person who said to have bought the custom O Block necklaces for his associates was the one that police believe was behind the entire hit. But interestingly enough, those cases weren't the only ones that were updated this week. The passing of King Von was also updated this week, showing the actual file that was released in the Chicago court system, which revealed the truth about every single detail. In these files, it even began with the police being told by a nurse at the hospital King Von was brought back to life, made it through 2 surgeries, but then got startled by that nurse walking into the room, which resulted in Von passing away.
And Von made it through 2 surgeries. He had 3 surgeries ago. He made it through 2 surgeries. And then after the second surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse and said where his gun at. And he went and he died because he went into shock. So he was making it through surgery. How hours later, Kayla know, talking about some, he fought the nurse. She the one told me that. His mama didn't even know that. How you knowing what's going on inside the hospital that quick?
Because she was there at the hospital.
But what's even more concerning is the police have written in their file that there is a reality where King Von got backdoored by one of his own. It was noted King Von had paid bodyguards who were supposed to protect him on this night. But when it came time to the altercation, they all ran in the opposite direction and didn't protect King Von.
His security guard let him walk. You get paid he get paid to protect. How the f you let him walk over and fight? You ain't even supposed to let him fight. He ain't supposed to be touching nobody. Security guard, if anything, you make sure Quando them leave. Whoever else they was with, you make sure they leave. How you let him walk over somebody that's the reason y'all here, the reason everybody in this parking lot here, because this man right here making the money and y'all his entourage. But that security guard, it's something fishy with him. That's why he deleted his Instagram. I definitely feel like it's foul play. I don't know where it's coming from, but I definitely feel like it's some weird shit going on.
As the body cam footage shows King Von's friends, but not one single bodyguard, which were all hired by the OTF label, which is owned by Lil Durk. The police even found an interview from Quando Rondo where he gave his explanation on the truth behind King Von's passing, the in-the-moment details, and even what Von's final words were. But to understand it all, we first need to review the entire updated police file on King Von's passing as the entire case was solved. On November 5th, 2020, King Von and his crew prepared to head to a club in Atlanta for his album's release party. The night was supposed to be a massive celebration of life and success ahead of King Von, but nobody knew that it would be so short-lived. King Von had many enemies. Growing up in a dangerous place like O Block, he knew the risks of being caught out in public. So when rolling out to the club, Von had a crew consisting of 20 to 25 street members, but also a few security guards. Even Von's manager 100K Track spoke on the extreme measures Von took regarding security.
I travel with one security that moves with Von, and he traveled with 2 more securities. You know what I'm saying? Von traveled in a proof truck, and not only that, his guys are security, man. He travels with 10 to 15 guys daily. They protect and love Von more than any security would. we're like, I think we're about 8-10 cars deep, 20-25 on entourage.
However, later on in the night, something would change. King Von would act out and put his entire life in jeopardy, but in the meantime, Von's party was going great. Everyone was having a great time, celebrating the new album, but at around 2:30 a.m., Von was glued to his cell phone, texting back and forth with somebody. It was clear something was going on. When the party ended, Von and his entourage began exiting the club. The plan was for everyone to return to the Airbnb and hotel for the night, but King Von had other plans.
Everybody's mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and the Airbnb because that's normal routine. The club he went to, the after hours, wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of. His team didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was a complete Von decision.
With the whole crew heading to the Airbnb, King Von would tell his driver last minute to go to another club known as the Monaco. This would be the first decision of many that led to the end of King Von.
So everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb, and Von literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact, I think from his DJ was like, hey bro, you know we here by ourselves, like where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue.
Now, for some reason, the people in King Von's truck only let the rest of the team know the plans had changed once they arrived at Monaco. When the rest of the team found out, they did make the U-turn in their vehicles and headed to the new club instantly. Once Von's manager got to Monaco, he knew something was off. Von was still glued to his iPhone, not acting like the upbeat guy that he usually was. Von's crew was ready to enter the club, but he sat in the truck for over 30 minutes.
For some reason, Von wasn't himself. This man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life. For some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 30-35 minutes.
His manager would then hop in the truck to check on him. Von finally agreed to go into the lounge, but due to Monaco's club rules, King Von's crew had to leave their firearms in all of their cars. At first, they just sent security in to look the club over, make sure everything was safe.
I went to the car he was in. I was like, yo, Von. Went inside the passenger seat. I'm like, yo, Von, bro, what's going on? Like, no, everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. We're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Von's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside the club. They check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no.
Meanwhile, the real issue was outside in the parking lot. This is because rapper Quando Rondo was in his car with a couple of his own friends trying to get some sleep. Since King Von and the others were waiting for the okay to enter the club, one of the security spotted Quando Rondo inside of his vehicle, ran up to King Von and said, "Did you know Quando is here?"
Now, right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys, he came to the car and said, "Hey, so-and-so's here." And Von just jumped up like, "Oh, come on, let's go."
King Von reacted instantly, jumping out of the truck, looking to confront Quando Rondo. Von's team tried to get him to chill out and not start a scene, but it didn't stop him. Von would go around the front of the white vehicle, locked eyes with Quando, and immediately began swinging.
He jumped out the car. By the time Von jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling.
Only a few seconds into the brawl, Quando's best friend Lil Tim would come out of the back side of the white car with his firearm and use it towards King Von. It also hit Von's manager once in the leg, but more on that later. Now, some of Von's members were still strapped. They instantly retaliated on Lil Tim, making him fall to the ground only a few feet away. With the noise eclipse going off in the area, there was 2 off-duty officers working security just down the street. They would end up creeping up to the scene, did a 3-2-1 on their walkie-talkies, and then unleashed multiple rounds into the area, trying to get everyone to calm down. Sadly, this hit one of King Von's friends, but during this, Von would lie right in the middle of the street with Quando Rondo still beside him. Many online believe Quando was trying to snatch Von's diamond O-block chain before fleeing the area, but 100K Track believes Von was holding Quando there to shield himself.
And was he trying to take Von's chain, or?
Honest truth, I don't think V-Roy had no jewelry. on and from the people that was a little bit closer, Vaughn was actually holding onto him like, man, you ain't going nowhere. Like, you here, like, even through getting he's that strong. Like, he was literally holding him.
Police noted that once the scene relaxed and everyone stopped using their firearms, it started the race to save King Von's life. They noted via surveillance, his best friend Muop, who was involved in FBG Duck's passing, ran right in the middle of the street, hit Quando away from Vaughn. Quando and his team then left the scene, including Lil Tim. They all hopped into their white cars and began driving to the hospital. Meanwhile, Vaughn's crew helped him up and get into their own getaway car and go to the same hospital. Despite being in that situation, Vaughn was conscious the entire drive. The members that were with Vaughn in the car spoke out, saying Vaughn was the one trying to keep everyone in good spirits and assured everyone he would be okay.
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there. The gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Vaughn was the one that was like, hey, calm down, slow down, chill, I'm gonna be good, just get me to the hospital. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself, from that incident, from what I was told from the people in the car, that he would have been fine.
Then, after arriving at the hospital, Vaughn was rushed into the operating room where he made it through 2 surgeries, but then sadly passed after being startled by a nurse at the hospital while he was looking around for his firearm. But here's where things get odd. It was noted Vaughn was looking around for a firearm in the hospital room, but he never had one. This evidence only came out recently. So how did Boosie know that he didn't have a firearm in this interview from 2 years ago?
I mean, like you said, the King Von situation, like there was absolutely no reason for Von to be rolling around with that dude. Like, there was no, especially since he had security, like, you know, someone should have jumped in. It should never even.
King Von
I almost feel like, but I almost feel like if
all
you have real security,
all of them is supposed to blast. I feel like they would have been more ready in Chicago.
Sad, man, sad. I mean, the whole King Von thing is really kind of hanging
me up,
over everyone right now.
That f me up, bro. Cause I like King Von.
With the news of King Von passing, it would quickly hit news headlines where Lil Durk would be on IG Live when it happened.
This made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the 3 people shot was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
2 groups of individuals got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated into an exchange of guns.
Everyone knew that Quando and Lil Tim were responsible, so everyone awaited their interviews to speak on Von's passing. The police finally found them, and they noted that Quando Rondo said,
whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever like that. It could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
To even Lil Tim, the man that did the crime towards King Von, would speak out in this interview.
No, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying f him and shit like that, cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like, they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
But comment down below if you believe King Von is guilty of these cases. And if you were a fan of King Von, like the video. I'm curious how many of you are watching.